Hey, it's Joshua Vergara from Android Authority. What's going on, everybody? And here we are revisiting the Sony Xperia Z2, which is the update to the flagship from last year, the Xperia Z1. Now, one thing I wanted to touch upon once again, quite literally, is the feel of the device. After all, we do have the same general design language from the Xperia Z1, and in this feature focus on the general features of this phone, we wanted to really highlight the way that this phone feels in the hands. You still get the very decisive rigidity that has permeated throughout the Xperia Z smartphones, the first Xperia Z and then the Z1 after it, of course, but with subtle curves here and a somewhat softer feel in terms of the metal here. It does feel very nice and comfortable despite having that rigidity that makes you think that you really have a solidly built phone in your hands. You really don't feel like you're going to be dropping this because the grip is really easy given the somewhat rounded but still very rigid corners. I keep using the term rigid because that is the kind of build quality that we have here. They have very decisive lines all around. You still have the dual glass finish here, and really in the hand it's just really like one of the best handling phones out there, simply because you know it's in your hand better than most other ones. It'll never slip out because it really just sits in your hand very nicely with its very decisive design. There aren't too many additions to the general stock-like experience of Android on the Xperia smartphones, and that really helps with the performance. You do have the notification drop-down right here, but there has been an update with the quick settings toggles right over here that give you an easy access, all in white, of course, in a very nice motif that allow you to change the various settings on your phone. You can also edit these, and you are able to change the order or even add extra buttons if you wish. So let's say roaming because we're in Spain, airplane mode because we're going to be on a flight later, and you will see that they show up right there on the bottom. So really nice and easy. The other addition that Sony also loves to put in there is these small apps, and let's just do that a little bit. You have the recent apps screen, but the small apps are right here on the bottom, and you do have a few more up here. One in particular that I really like is, of course, the Gmail one. So I can't show it right now, but a small box would show up showing me my emails for quick multitasking. You probably already noticed in the performance aspect and in the aesthetics that I was showing already, there are just all of these really quick flourishes that allow the phone to just look really smooth. You see how everything just is pretty quick. There's the camera, it just moved right over very nicely, and then when you come here, it's just got that nice fade. The notification dropdown has a nice fade to it as well. It slides over rather. And when you go into any of the apps, it just has this really nice aesthetic to it that makes it seem very snappy, very smooth, and it just sort of guides you through everything that it is doing. It's a very nice aesthetic that the Z2 has with its updated Android operating system and all the performance that is underneath. It's just something that I really wanted to highlight. After that, you also have the different apps like the Walkman, which still looks really lovely and has a little bit of an update here with the nice pull over from the left side. And right there you have all of the pieces of music that are on the phone itself, along with the shortcuts here to send you to the unlimited store services that Sony puts on their phones as well. But if I was going to go ahead and play a song, you can see there, it's just really nice. The Walkman is still one of the best media players out there, in my opinion. You also have the gallery here, the album that has been on, and the nice pullover also from there. A lot of the apps in the Sony ecosystem have been updated to the 4.4 look that has a pullout from the left side. So one last thing that I will show you, as always, and you probably know about this already, the Sony Xperia Z2, much like the previous entries in the smartphone line for them, is waterproof and water and dust resistant. And here I am just dunking the phone in here. I'm going to go ahead and hit the silver power button on the side, and you'll see that the phone turns on down there. And once I take it out of the water here, you'll see that it works just fine. Oh, I'm going through there you go. Swipe to unlock, and there you go. We're back in business, even though the phone took a dip in the water. So it's Joshua Vergara from Android Authority, as you know already, and we're here taking a look at the Sony Xperia Z2. The water is making some of the presses on here a little bit more difficult. We've got to wipe this off before I can continue using the phone, but we are here at the Sony booth at the Mobile World Congress in Barcelona, Spain. Make sure you stay tuned for the rest of our coverage. This is the last day of the show, so we have a lot coming for you in the coming days, finishing up from the show.